Our first warm-up is a skier. And as you can see here, I'm just mimicking the movements of a skier skiing down the mountain by bringing one foot back behind the other. Now, you don't have to crisscross them as you see me here. You can certainly just bring the 2 feet together, as you'll see as I demonstrate at the end of the video here. And this is just to get your heart rate up and get those hip muscles nice and warmed up and ready. See here, I'm just touching foot to ankle, foot to ankle. Our second warm-up is a reverse lunge to a high knee movement. So you're going to want to get your reverse lunge nice and measured out, as you saw I did there, and then start with the high knee movement. Now it is an alternating movement. However, I want you to do 30 seconds on each side. Give each side some time to get tired, and plus get yourself a little bit extra balance by not trying to alternate between each and every rep. And here we do the other side, 30 seconds. Our third warm-up is a super simple sumo squat. You just want to have your toes pointed out a little bit further than you would doing a traditional squat, and have your knees going outward versus forward in front of you. And this is going to help those inner thighs. So ladies who want that focus, this is a great warm-up exercise and addition to your leg day. And round 2 of skiers. Again, you don't have to crisscross. I tend to like that a little bit better. I feel like it helps me balance a little bit better and engages my core somewhat more. Again, arms don't have to go up high and feet don't have to cross. That's just a modification. And round 2 of reverse lunge to high knee. round 2 of sumo squats. And remember guys, it's not a race. I want you to take your time and go down nice and slowly, making sure that your spine is remaining neutral. It's a good tip to have a wall behind you, especially if this is the first time that you're doing these, just in case you do tip back, as can happen if you lose your balance. This way you have some protection. And finishing off with round 3 of our warm-up, getting ready for our workout. Our first exercise is the chair split squat. Now these you will be performing for 30 seconds each leg. And you see there, I started off with my toes on the chair, but then I ended up flattening it down. It's just a bit more comfortable for me. Feel free to keep your toes on the chair or bench if you'd like, or do it flat as you see I do here. And switching to the other leg now. Now, one of the trickier parts about doing split squats like this is most people tend to lean forward just because there's a little less pressure on their back and on their quad. You need that pressure, so try and make sure that you're keeping your hips pushed forward in this movement and that you're only dipping down as far as your mobility allows. You don't have to go this far down, guys. This is just where my mobility is. Our second exercise is a narrow stance squat. You see I'm using dumbbells here, but you don't have to use dumbbells. Now, this is definitely going to focus a lot more on what we like to call the outer sweep, the outer portion of your quadriceps. So your legs will feel a lot more sore on the outside doing these types of squats versus others. So nice and slow, taking your time to make sure that you're pushing your hips back and keeping your back neutral. Now this last exercise is basically a reverse pistol squat. I call them get-ups. You want to start off with just one foot placed firmly on the ground and the other one off the ground. You can rest your heel on the ground if you need the extra support. But as you see here, I have my entire foot up and I just want to take my time making sure that I'm sitting down nice and slowly and controlled. I'm not slamming down. And then when I'm standing up, to make sure that I push all of my weight through my heel firmly down to the ground until I'm standing. Now, as you can see here, I had my foot down on the ground for support on that first rep. Please feel free to do that if you need the extra support or if you just need help getting balance on those first few reps. And round 2 of split squats. Round 2 of narrow stance squats. And if you did not do your first set with some dumbbells, try and add the dumbbells now. Round 2 of single leg get-ups. round 3. And now for the 4th and final round. For the wall quad stretch, you want to start with your feet against the wall and slowly slide one foot back until your knee is resting against the edge of the floor and wall, as you see here. Now here, it's a super small movement. I'm just pushing my hips toward the ground. I'm pushing my hips down toward the ground, and that is stretching all the way from my psoas down to the knee. Slowly slide forward when you're finished, and then repeat with the other leg. And remember, guys, try and hold these stretches for at least about a minute to 2 minutes each side. For the windmill stretch, you want to start with one foot facing forward and the other foot facing away from your body. Then you're going to have one hand flat against that leg that is facing away from your body, and your opposite arm goes straight up into the air as you slowly slide your hips away. Now, when you're doing this movement, you're going to feel the pull in the inner thigh. That's the muscle that we are focusing on. Okay? When you switch sides, same thing. The foot that is facing forward is going to have that side arm up in the air. The foot that is facing away and out, you're going to slide your hand down that thigh until you feel the stretch. And trust me, you will feel it. Now we are going to stretch the psoas, this muscle here, and the front of the thigh at the hip. You want to start with one foot back and one foot forward in a split stance. Now here, you want to make sure that you apply pressure through your toes. So let your heel come up from the ground a little bit and push through your toes, and also making sure that you're pushing your hips forward. That small movement of pushing those hips forward is going to stretch the psoas and release all of that tension, especially after doing split squats and lunges and things like that. That can get very tight. So go ahead and switch sides. Again, the foot that's back, you're going to have the heel slightly elevated from the ground, and then pushing through your toes, you're going to push your hips forward. You see I'm extending my arms here. That further extends the stretch through my side and my obliques, furthering the stretch of my psoas. Now these videos are just for demonstration, so they are quite short, guys. So I do want you to make sure that you're taking time to pause the video, replay it if you need reminders on how to do the stretch, but make sure that you're pausing it for 1 to 2 minutes on each side so that you're getting the full stretch that you need after this workout. And guys, hopefully these stretches have helped you guys out. I am here to answer any questions, of course, because stretching can be a little tricky. So please feel free to reach out to me if you have any further questions. That was legs, guys. See you tomorrow.